Hi, I'm Pete. I'm here to tell you why Firewatch is a transformative experience, if you're an idiot. To give credit where credit is due, I will say that Firewatch starts out surprisingly strong with a good amount of expositional dialogue and some brief encounters with our tantalizing lead character, Henry. This is done through a visual novel-inspired series of text choices. I thought these were implemented exceptionally well and set me up with an investment in our dickhole protagonist. So, Henry lives in Colorado and meets a lady named Julia, who he falls deeply in love with. They get married, get a dog together, and plan to have kids. Unfortunately, we quickly find out his wife is sick and has a form of early onset Alzheimer's that has made her quite difficult to bear for Henry's style of easy living. So Henry takes a job in the wilderness looking out for fires to escape for a summer and thwart his deep responsibilities. Quickly we meet our partner Delilah and learn that she's willing to shoot the shit with just about anyone because she talks to Henry like she's known him for 4 years.
Two Forks Tower.
Hello? Whoever this is?
It's Henry, right?
Yeah.
I'm Delilah.
Yeah, that's what the guy said on the phone.
So, what's wrong with you?
Excuse me?
People take this job to get away from something. So, what's wrong?
What's wrong with you?
That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Look, I just hiked for 2 days, so I don't really follow whatever it is you're doing right now.
You take a stab at what's wrong with me.
Fine.
At least buy me a cold glass of gin before you start asking me what I ran away from and why I decided to take a job for weirdos. But therein lies one of the major problems with Firewatch. They at least give you characters to care about. But in the end, what do the characters matter if the story doesn't deliver? And the story definitely doesn't deliver. Firewatch sets itself up as a character piece. A look into the mind of a man who gave up on his duties as a husband and human being and instead ran away. The ensuing story could look into depression in the mind of someone willing to attempt self-reflection, but instead relies on some cheap twists and thrills that don't deliver on what the narrative originally seemed to be aiming for. Narrative and storytelling in video games has come a long way in the last 10 years. By that, I mean we figured out a large portion of what will play with a large audience between 2005 and 2009. And then we beat those story beats into the ground over the last 5 years. But narrative seems to live in some way in more indie titles, although suspiciously, the best indie titles seem to always tell their stories in the most vague manner. Firewatch delivers its story in a straightforward way, telling you almost exactly what's going on, although shrouded in a tiny bit of mystery. That's why, when you truly figure out exactly what's going on in Firewatch, and why you're there, you realize it's not really about the characters at all, but rather about the mystery that they are about to encounter. And that, in itself, is one of the most disappointing parts about Firewatch. At this point in the game, there's still hope. Hope that that insane attack in the forest is going to mean anything. But instead, as is so often done in these types of games, we are led on a journey to find an invisible force we believe is manipulating us, cheaply enticed by a mystery worthy of a cable procedural drama, with misdirection galore. At one point you find a camp full of complicated equipment that leads you to believe multiple people are listening to you and studying you. But it all ends up being an elaborate ruse set up by a man who is hiding a secret that he doesn't need to hide, and that we have no reason to care about. Essentially, a man once in your position took the job of Firewatcher and brought his son along to enjoy the scenery in dangerous caves. But his son died, and so he holed himself up in a bunker and attempted to hide the secret that he likely caused his own son's death. So naturally, we find his son's body at the bottom of a cave, withered away and dead. only minutes after discovering anything about his son that we would even remotely care about. Promptly, you blame Delilah, and she hates you for it. Well, you blame her if you're me, but I felt like she needed to hear the truth, which was that it was her fault, and that she really fucked up by letting that kid stay around.
Hey, Dee.
There you are. I've been worrying my ass off.
Hey, I'm sorry, Delilah. I'm so sorry.
About what? You're freaking me out.
He's in there.
What are you saying, Henry?
The only thing in the cave is Brian. He's dead. His body is in the cave, Delilah.
Gotta be fucking kidding me. How does that... What? I don't... How?
Climbing, I think, or made to look like a climbing accident.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe it was Ned.
If not him directly, he put enough stupid fucking know-how in his head to get him killed. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Delilah, you should have told someone he was out here.
Just stop. Okay, I know.
Maybe he would have...
Henry, you insensitive shit. You don't think I know he'd be alive if it weren't for me? And I fucking know it's my fault. I'll never forget that it's on me.
That's when you cue the heartstrings, and you're supposed to care about a character that you knew nothing about, never met, never spoke to, and have no connection to whatsoever. But therein is the main problem I have with Firewatch. The two characters you're led to believe are the focus of the game. The two characters you spend all your time with are nothing but a centerpiece for the tragic story of a father who lost his son. Why spend so much time developing the relationships between two characters if you're just going to throw it away to tell the story of an entirely different character? Henry and Delilah could have been Poopface and Cheryl for all I care. Their story and emotional connection was barely expounded upon. Henry's development over the course of 70 days is worth no more than Marcus Phoenix's character development. This is a droll and hardly finished art housework that people seem to be building into something greater than it is. I don't give two shits about Julia, Henry, or Delilah. In the end, all I know is that some dad screwed up and got his son killed, and Henry and Delilah didn't even end up grabbing a beer together. What a shell. What a lifeless piece of trash. So to those of you out there who really love Firewatch, I apologize, because you got duped. And nobody likes getting duped. Every once in a while we get tricked into thinking we should be feeling something based on how a game is brought to you or presented to you. But Firewatch especially is just an emotional piece of manipulative garbage. It's going to try to convince you you're feeling something, when in reality it doesn't really want to make you feel anything at all. It just wants to capitalize on the idea that it might be making you feel some type of emotion. But when the themes of depression and anxiety are present, and the feeling of loneliness is supposed to be very, very prominent, then it is shocking when a game just completely ignores every single one of those concepts and instead brings to you a mystery worthy of sci-fi or cable television. So some of you out there are going to be saying to me, hey, I love Firewatch. I don't get it. You're a piece of shit. I hate you. I understand. I am. And I know that you do. But it's okay. Please, leave your dissenting comments in the bottom screen thingamajig, and you can just subscribe or whatever you want to do. Or not. You can just downvote this. Hell, go ahead.